Hello and welcome to NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime. We call this program your favorite nautical authoritative because it centers around all of the issues that have to do with shipping, the protection of our marine environment, maritime labor, and of course, the blue economy. All of these as regulated and promoted by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. My name is Ubongi Sen, and it's my pleasure to be your guide on this voyage.
My name is Chief Dr. George Moralo.
Senator Binta Masi Garba.
Ijabonamuse is Rollins McFoy, the President of Women in Maritime Nigeria.
You are watching NIMASA This Week.
You are watching NIMASA This Week.
NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime.
The Voice of Maritime.
The voice of the maritime industry.
The Voice of the Maritime.
NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime, showing on these stations.
Welcome back to NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime, and we're glad to announce to Nigerians that the IMO Secretary General, the Chief Executive of the International Maritime Organization, Mr. Kitak Lim, will be visiting Nigeria on the 21st and 22nd of November. And a lot is on his schedule as it relates to activities within Nigeria's maritime space. Watch out. On today's episode of the program, we take you into the DG's diary to see what Dr. Bashir Jabo has been doing. We'll also bring you the concluding installment of our CFC, that's the Convention for Safe Containers. You get to watch that on our Know Your Convention segment, plus our other regulars. So if you're ready, it's anchors away.
Introducing the NIMASA Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and NIMASA will respond. There is a high correlation between customers and revenue because customers drive revenue necessary for the perpetual existence of organizations. It is on the grounds of this consciousness and deliberate acknowledgement of the importance of customers that the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, stated during this year's celebration of the Customer Service Week that it is the stakeholders that keep the agency and maritime businesses afloat.
Instead of calling customers, I will continue to use stakeholders. The stakeholders can be internal and external. We have an internal stakeholders which are the most important tools that drive the performance of the agency, performance of the industry, to make sure that we live up to the expectation, to make sure that the rules of engagement given to us by the government, we meet such expectation. So it is my sincere gratitude to have the team of those crop of officers that year in, year out, continue to do us proud.
Dr. Jamo used the event to welcome the National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer of Servicom, Mrs. Nina Akajimeli, who was at NIMASA to celebrate the Customer Service Week, noting that adherence to NIMASA's core values was necessary to guarantee mutual satisfaction of both internal and external stakeholders of the agency.
In terms of our own performance and improvement of the well-being of the maritime industry, in terms of regulatory functions, in terms of global best practices, in terms of enhancing maritime security, safety, marine environment management performance, and also ensuring the CPR's welfare all over the world, wherever they are. So, before coming here, the coordinator visited our own customer experience center. Unfortunately, last year, we did not celebrate the customer experience center due to the COVID-19. At that time, we still have the remnants of the COVID-19, and we have restrictions of gathering like this. We thank God today we are seeing a new lease of life that we can converge, rub minds together, take stock of what we have and what we do and what we are improving, where we are lacking, where the gaps are, how do we fill those gaps, and what the stakeholders have to tell us their own experience and the way and manner that we can improve to bring the best we can for the services of mankind in this country. Coordinator Sabiko, I don't want to say much because I am here to be judged by the stakeholders. Those stakeholders consist of internal and external.
In her response, Akajimeli observed that as the national coordinator and chief executive officer of Servicom, she was thrilled by what she saw in NIMASA. She applauded the NIMASA's Maritime Stakeholders Experience Contact Center, noting that it was a world-class facility.
Thank you for those kind words. We're also here because of the great need to say thank you. On behalf of all Nigerians, I want to say well done and thank you for the great job you have done from last October up until now. We'll wait to even celebrate more next year.
Speaking further, Akajimeli commended NIMASA for its achievements, particularly in the areas of stakeholder support and complaint handling system. She added that her agency would continue to seek more value-adding models of working with the agency, calling on other agencies of government to be as stakeholders focused as NIMASA. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has organized a 3-day management strategic session. This is part of efforts to strategize and review its performance in order to achieve its mandate. Speaking during the opening of the session, the agency's Director General, Dr. Bashir Jamo, noted that continuous internal stakeholders engagement is a key component of the current administration to achieve a successful implementation of a tripod mandate of ensuring maritime safety, maritime security, and shipping development for the Nigerian maritime industry.
The importance of MTS is the life wire and the brain box of our own budgetary provisions in the agency. It helps us to have a strategic, realistic, and forward-looking budget. So that's why we are here. It's from the MTS that we will be able to know what priority projects we have to take. And when we came in, the present government, they have 9 priority areas. And we reduce and subsume everything we do in terms of our own mandate into tripod S. Maritime safety, maritime security, shipping development. It's the duty of each department or unit to understand and see under which umbrella they operate and what kind of value added they can do. what are the priority projects they need to have to be able to key into the thinking of the management on the way forward and on the way to move the agency forward. So now the task that I want to give here is that each and every one of us shall try and understand where his unit or his department belong under the triple S. And that is the essence of this gathering. And once you understand that concept, you begin to think what resources you will have to deploy to achieve or succeed in certain area.
Dr. Jambo disclosed that in order to achieve the mandate of the agency, it requires collective efforts from all stakeholders, which will in turn help drive investors' confidence to invest in the Nigerian maritime sector.
So in that joint industry working group, we have about NIMASA, Nigerian Navy, the stakeholders, they have their representative. On the part of international body, we have the International Maritime Organization, we have Intertanko, Intercargo, we have oil major marketers. So every month we deliberate on the issue of security and we advise as appropriate. Now, after getting certain level, we now introduce Shared Gulf of Guinea. The Shared Gulf of Guinea bring about the international community that they wanted to assist in maintaining security in our own Gulf of Guinea. Now, in so doing, that's how the France, Denmark, UK, I think Korea gave us a donation of vessel. The Japan gave us a donation of $2.7 million, but they didn't give us in cash. They said that they should go and build 2 boats for us. I mentioned that we have 12, and then plus the one that Japan they are going to give us, we are going to have 14. I believe before the end of the year, all these boats will be ready for us to be used. So we don't have anything to bother. This administration is very prepared to put NIMASA on the sound footing on the issue of maritime, only maritime. When you are talking to people, they talk maritime, not talk any other things. And we will have to leave a legacy that everybody will have to continue. Before the end of the administration, we'll be able to give a prioritized project. These are the projects we start, these are the projects we finish, these are the remaining that we are unfinished, and we will advise the management that are coming, they should concentrate in ensuring they complete that particular project. So in so doing, the focus, the direction of NIMASA will never be derailed. We will be able to take everything at cost based on our own mandate. And that's what we are doing.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the Know Your Convention segment on NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime. Today, we'll continue our discussions on the International Convention for Safe Containers. And I still have here with me my guest, Engineer Stanley. With all these steps and role of the agency that Engineer Greg has just mentioned, how is this carried out by the agency? What's the enforcement measure that the agency applies?
Thank you very much. Collaborating what my colleague has said regarding the role of NIMASA as per the convention. First, it should be noted that the administration of a contracting government is required to advise or ensure that a newly manufactured containers are fixed with safety approval plates. Such safety approval plates will contain the dates of manufacture of the container, the identification number, the maximum weight of the container, as well as the allowable stacking height of such container. What it means is, when such container is taken to any other country, upon seeing a valid safety plate affixed on it, the container will be allowed in. So on our part in NIMASA, we look out for valid safety plates in inbound containers as one of a way of enforcing the requirement. Inbound containers that are coming in inbound, as a way of enforcing the requirements of the regulation. In addition to that one, we are also expected to verify the weights that are declared on the containers to ensure that such weights are not misleading.
When the safety plates are issued, it is practically like a card to say that this container has been checked.
It's checked.
But what if the weight is not the one that is expected under the convention?
What it means is that the container has contravened the provision of the requirement and will be subject to necessary administrative actions.
Okay. Thank you, Engineer Stanley. So, Engineer Greg, what's exactly the significance of this convention? How does it affect the marine environment, human lives, or what's the importance of the convention?
Thank you, George. As my colleague has rightly indicated, this convention major objective takes care of the high level of safety in the use of this container in marine transportation. As he has indicated, there are schemes of inspections. There are major two schemes of inspection. As he said, that at the time of manufacture of these containers, it is a requirement of the convention that after the first 5 years, the container has to undergo an inspection. Check. Yes. Okay. And subsequently, every 30 months, these containers, these are one of the checks. Each administration need to check on these containers. And again, alternatively, this container can undergo a program called Approved Continuous Examination Program, which must be affixed, as he said, on the safety plate. Okay. This safety plate is an indicator that yes, this because it hasn't checked, and it is still to be used, and it's still safe to be used in marine transportation. Right. So it is very, very significant. One, it avoids accident. Two, so long as these containers are still in use and are in good shape, no matter the scheme of inspection used, if the control officer sees that this container is not fit, doesn't matter the validity of the safety plate, the control officer is empowered to withdraw that container. Okay. And again, as my colleague has said, the captain has the power not to allow this container to be loaded on his vessel if there is no safety plate, a valid safety plate on the container.
Okay. Thank you very much. Engineer Stanley, do you have any closing words and what you need to tell the viewers out there on the convention?
I don't want us to lose sight of the fact that the convention seeks to ensure free movement of containers across the world, because where the regulation have been left to divergent national regulations, there would have been restrictions in movement of container. Take, for example, you manufacture a container here in Nigeria and you ship it to America, and they will look at it, they will be having a different requirement for their container, and what that means is that they will decline the container entry into the country.
So what you're saying is that the importance of the convention that it provides uniform rules all over the world.
Uniform rule across the world.
The requirements are international. It's the same everywhere.
Yeah. In addition to what my colleague said, in fact, the convention specifically mentioned, it says reciprocal acceptance. That's the word the convention uses. So that no container that each contracting government approve will be rejected by another. It will facilitate free movement of goods.
The principle of reciprocity.
Yes.
Okay. So Engineer Greg, thank you so much for coming to this segment. And Engineer Stanley, thank you so much for your insightful comments on this convention. So viewers, that's all on International Convention for Safety of Containers. Until next time, please stay tuned as NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, continues.
Our world-class Maritime Experience Center is now live, announcing Maritime Stakeholders Experience Contact Center, MSECC, where you'll get simple, fast, and tailored solutions to all your maritime challenges on maritime safety, maritime labor, marine pollution, search and rescue, cabotage issues, ship registration, training and certification, and other maritime-related issues. Contact us via the following channels: 23401 630 9590. Email us at contactcenter@nimasa.gov.ng, info@nimasa.gov.ng. Chat with us www.nimasa.gov.ng and on Facebook at NIMASA Official. Let's resolve all your maritime related issues.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. We go straight to what's been trending online as it relates to the maritime industry. If you want to reach out to the DG of NIMASA in person online, his Twitter handle is @Jamo Bashir. However, when it comes to doing business in the Nigerian maritime space, it's important that we keep on sounding this note of instruction and of warning that maritime is heavily regulated. NIMASA has been designated by law as the supervisor, as the prefect, as the agency in charge of regulating and ensuring that all the players, all the stakeholders continue to function according to the rules of the game. And so, as we always say, make the NIMASA official website currently displayed on your screen your first port of call. Thank you for spending time with us today on NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. And we hope you've learned quite a few things on the progress currently being made within Nigeria's maritime domain. And as we drop anchor today, do remember that the storm only comes to teach you how to sail your ship. Till I see you next time, my name remains Ubong Isien, and as I always say, stay on course. Bye-bye.